Hello, I'm William Stringer,
And I'm Dean Garrett.
and this is Cuppa and a Crash Course. Today, we are going to be talking about mortgage brokers versus banks. What is the difference between working with the two?
It's a great question, William. I think that how would people know the difference?
I didn't before I got into real estate.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
What I realize is that people don't have a need for a mortgage in their lifetimes. Just every now and again.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of the public knowing exactly what to do. I mean, we spend a lot more time shopping for cars and things like that because we understand that environment a lot better. But when it comes to needing a mortgage, a six-figure loan from an institution, we don't. The people just don't have the experience for a lot of times. So I think it's a great question that way.
It's such a good comparison. I was thinking in comparison with Christmas, because whenever it's Christmas, we're not used to it being Christmas. So when it's Christmas, we're like, oh my God, it's Christmas. But we have, I don't know, what, 85 in our life? You go buying a car, which is a much better example, but you might buy, I don't know, if you get through a few in your younger years, you might be buying 15, 20 cars, I don't know, a lot of cars.
Right.
But mortgages, you might be buying one or two.
Yeah, you might have as many couches in your life as you do mortgages. Right?
100%,
So
yeah.
How do you shop for them? Right?
Yeah, how do you
and
shop?
of course, lenders have mortgage divisions, and the people at the bank have people that specialize in mortgages, as well as the credit unions have people working their mortgage business, right?
So the goal, can I jump in?
Oh,
Because
of course,
I've been
yeah.
dying to use this. The goal is to make you,
Happy. That's right.
and if it all goes well, you'll have a,
Party.
yeah,
In your house.
in your new house. So there are a couple of ways to do it, pros and cons of each.
Yeah.
Dean is a mortgage broker, but he's going to do his best to be as impartial as possible.
Oh, absolutely. And,
But you
and-
believe in mortgage brokery? Is that a thing? Is that a word?
Yeah, it's a profession. It's a
Yeah.
licensed profession
Cool.
across Canada.
Mortgage
Each-
brokery?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Brokerine. Yeah.
Brokerine?
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah. I've learned something.
I think it's the same either way.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're dealing with your bank or any bank, they can only speak to you about their products and how they do things. And one thing that struck me when I got into the business years ago was how different every bank is from each other. There are no two banks the same. No two credit unions are the same. And people don't know that. So,
Isn't that right? Yeah.
So what I can bring to my clients is I'm an independent mortgage professional that works directly for you. I don't work for any of the lender institutions.
So if you think about it, you might, it's not unheard of to have someone that age 16, they go and open up their first bank account, a little bit like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And then, you
I
know,
remember that day.
yeah.
I
Imagine you with
opened
like
my first bank account.
a peak cap. Please, sir, can I have some? You know, trying to take the penny.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then for some reason that becomes where you get your mortgage from. Now, that's not a bad story, it's a lovely story, and it might end up that way.
Right.
And we will talk about that length of relationship and the benefits that would have with a bank.
You think it would, but in reality, it doesn't bring any extra power to what you're doing with the bank.
Really?
No, not as normal people. I mean,
Really?
if you're high net worth people,
Yeah.
have clout with banks. Banks, it's kind of like, well, I don't know what a good analogy is, but I've witnessed how banks can only work within their policies. They can't really break things for clients, even though they've been there for a while or what have you. But where the biggest difference is in that when I'm working with my clients about their mortgage needs, I bring up all of the topics and provide what I think is the information a person who doesn't shop for a mortgage every week. What questions should you have? What do we want to go over? And I think that's the biggest experience difference between a bank and the other is that they know you need a mortgage and they have a mortgage to give you, maybe a couple of different varieties.
Yeah.
But they're not working for you. They're working with you. They can only talk to you about their product. And when they go through that process, it's not as complete.
Yeah.
Everything between what's the difference between fixed and variable. I mean, I probably spend a lot more time on that than a person might if they're working for the bank. You just need to get through those questions to move forward. Yeah. And you know, every experience is going to be different. Every person is different. But what's not different is when you're dealing with one bank, they can only give you their answers.
Yeah. So if you do a typical search, and you might not be able to answer this question, but if you do a typical search for a typical buyer, maybe it's a first-time buyer, how many banks or how many financial institutions will offer something on that?
Well, yeah, most of them will, but they all have different underwriting requirements. They look at your debt history differently. Some include, like some banks will include the limit of your loans, lines of credits. They'll actually maximize those, then do your affordability test. The
Wow.
ratios get used on your limits that you haven't even borrowed yet, whereas other lenders will take your actual loan balances, and that can strike a big difference in your buying power. And nothing's changed for you, right?
Okay. Wow.
So, but people aren't going to know that. There's very little information, even online, even with AI, to go in and ask certain questions about who does what with this topic in bank underwriting for mortgages, right? But that's
Wow.
that's my profession.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
to say, oh, this bank probably would not like to see this file, but this one would have no problem with it, right?
Wow. So one thing leads to another when you go to your bank, and then you end up there, but there may be something better out there. Now, we did promise something a little bit impartial. Are there any benefits to going to a bank that you can think of?
Oh, the benefits? Well, that's a really good question, William. Honestly, I'm trying to find that. I have no problem saying it, but I don't know. Here's what I do with my clients: is talk to your bank.
Yeah.
And talk to
And
me
see
too.
what they have to
Right,
say.
exactly. You find out for
Okay.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's easy to make an appointment with your own bank rather
Yeah.
than going to a different bank or something. But especially for renewals,
Yeah.
because if you already have your mortgage with a lender, we want to explore that
Yeah.
first. Find out what they're going to do for you, and if there's no advantage to moving your mortgage somewhere else, why
Yeah.
would you do that, right?
All right.
But how do you know if we don't explore it together and say, hey, this is this or that is that, right?
All right. Well, that's it from this
Yeah.
week. That was a really honest
Yeah.
answer as well. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Great.
Yes, great.
We'll see you again next week. Cover the crash course. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.